Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, preppers. How are you?
We are good today. Now that we got our coffee, we're good.
We're going to talk about inflation, which, of course, is stabbing every single one of us in the heart. And again, the numbers for the government are nowhere near where they really are at, because the actual inflation when you go to the store is far more than 9.1%.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how much it's raised. Eggs alone, for us, we eat a lot of eggs. And last summer, I was paying $67 a dozen. And I'm lucky if I can get it for $2.99 a dozen. And then this is just white, not generic eggs. This isn't organic. Yeah, this is the generic. No organic, no expensive eggs, and it's unbelievable how much they want for that stuff.
Yeah, and so this is the tip of the iceberg. It's only getting a lot worse. So here are 10 ways to help you fight inflation, and these ways really work too. Number 1, cook from scratch.
Honestly, this is the most important and most easiest one you can do, is learn how to cook. Cook from scratch from your own ingredients in the kitchen, and you will save so much money right
And
there.
I've noticed, and we try to eat at home as much as possible.
Yeah.
But of course, I noticed that a lot of people, and probably not you, I'm guessing, a lot of people are just depending on eating out more and more and more. Like we go down to in our farm stores, and there's a line for KFC, Taco Bell that always goes around the building.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. So I think a lot of people, more and more people, I should say, are depending on fast food and stuff. But making stuff from scratch, obviously it takes a little work.
It does take more work. It's harder in the summer, I think, especially if you work a full-time job, come home. Who wants to come home and make pizza when you can just grab it?
Ooh,
but pizza, have you guys seen the prices of how much pizza has even gone up?
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so making everything from scratch definitely works better as far as saving money, but also
it's healthier
too.
Yeah. Number 2, meal planning. Honestly, this is one of my favorites because I can, on Sunday nights, I like to plan the meals out for the entire week. And I noticed that if we stick to a meal planning, 1, it's cheaper on the budget, and 2, I know what to feed everybody. Not everybody's asking what's for dinner.
Yeah, in fact, we've made this neat little Excel spreadsheet to put on the fridge that you just simply fill in the boxes, and she decorates it with washi tape.
Washi tape and Sharpies. It helps my addiction of that stuff.
Yeah, and so it's pretty cool to do it that way. And of course, especially if you have children, every 5 minutes, hey, watch for dinner, watch for dinner. Go read the fridge. You can see what's for dinner.
Yep.
And on top of that, though, simply just besides the meal planning, which helps you save money by not spending a lot of money on just, we better just grab everything to make meals. Instead, you actually can focus on what you want specifically. And even with prepping too, stockpiling, you want to make sure that you really stockpile the stuff that you really want to eat as far as meals go, instead of just buying lots and lots of random stuff that may go to waste. But even more so, the meal planning also helps out with leftovers too.
Yes.
Because, if you do have leftovers, obviously you're going to want to eat those leftovers. But if you plan out the meals and plan them out strategically, you may not have as many leftovers, therefore less wasted food. Number 3, no processed food.
We know processed food is not good for you, and it's really expensive. So if you can buy things that aren't processed, you're even better.
But aren't we like a processed nation?
We are.
You go through and there's canned food, which is great to grab, not always. But then you go down to those freezer aisles, and there's a lot of freezer aisles in grocery stores now.
Yeah, there are.
And full of TV dinners, and do you even call them TV dinners anymore?
I don't know.
Those microwave dinners and stuff. And I remember as in my 20s eating those things, thinking they were actually tasty.
The Hungry Man.
Oh yeah, the Hungry Man chicken, which was always just something about it was not right. But I still ate it as in my 20s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But obviously, it's not good for you.
No.
Those processed ingredients. Let's go ahead and forget about toxicity, just inflammation.
Yeah.
But again, this whole video is about problem with inflation and expenses.
Yeah, they're real. They just, that stuff alone has gone way up. I've noticed we do buy the package of crackers for our children, and we used to buy the jumbo size, and it was like $6. It was almost $12 for it the other day at the store.
For crackers?
For crackers.
What kind of crackers?
The peanut butter crackers.
Oh yeah.
It's easier for if we're in the car for snacks and stuff like that.
The snack crackers, exactly. Yeah, so stay away from the processed foods.
Number 4, check the unit price. I think this one is overlooked most of the time because honestly, you just see what you want and grab it off the shelf, but it actually can save you a lot of money.
Yeah, and I love this because being like a mathematician and stuff, you look at the price of the item, then right below it, and I'm pretty sure all grocery stores have this now.
Most do. There's a few I think that don't, but 90% of them do.
Yeah, and it shows you the price per ounce, and you're looking at it, you're like, oh, this has got to be the best deal. And then you check that price per ounce, you're like, oh no, it's not. And most often, it's like the larger, bulkier items that actually are cheaper per unit price.
Most of the time it is.
Most of the time, but not always.
Yeah, no.
I've checked it. I was like, and I always make a stink. I was like, what? It's actually cheaper to buy the individual ones instead of the bulk. I mean, that's rare, but it does happen. So check the unit price and make sure you're getting the best bang for your buck. Buy the store brand food.
When you're shopping and you go down the aisle and you see the name brand and you don't want to buy it, go for the off-brand. It's the best deal that you can honestly get. I've read a lot of articles saying that honestly it's the same product that they put in there, so don't be afraid of getting the store brand wherever you go.
Yeah, and the price difference is amazing. Especially like, I don't even like buying the corn at Costco anymore because that's all they have is name brand. They don't have any generic stuff anymore. And their number 10 cans have kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
But, when we go to like Walmart or wherever, Aldi, I love buying that generic brand stuff. And like she said, the studies have shown it's really the same thing. In fact, here's a little trick for you. If you're a vodka lover, even if you like vodka for alcohol, not for drinking, but for like
vanillas
sanitizing
and stuff,
right? At our Costco anyway, up here in Michigan, they actually have the expensive brand, name brand vodka. And then they actually have the, what is Sam's or Costco's generic brand?
I don't know, honestly.
Whatever their generic brand is, vodka. And it's half the price. But it's the same one. It's exactly the same bottlery.
I don't
Bottle
know.
place?
It's packaged the same.
Yeah, so when the actual main corporation does it, they actually have a deal with Costco, and they also fill up the small ones. It's the exact same vodka for half the price.
But you get a fancy bottle.
Yeah, it's true, exactly. You can drink the brand name, baby. Okay. Yeah, so go for the generic store brand stuff as much as you can. You'll save a lot of money.
Number 6, shop the sales. This honestly can be a really fun one. If you really put your mind to it, you can shop the sales and plan your meals out for that. And if you know that chicken's on sale for the week or 2 weeks, then buy all the chicken, and then next week beef's going to be on sale. It's easy to do that. Or vegetables, whatever you eat, if you're vegetarian or not, shop the sales. It honestly will save you a ton of money.
And I mean, I don't know about how many of you are like this, but it's kind of addicting to look for sales.
It is.
Once you get into it, you're like, I saved 10 cents on that can of corn.
It's a treasure hunt.
But it is a treasure hunt, exactly. You're saving money. And you may think, well, 10 cents on a can of corn, when a can of corn is like, what, maybe $1? We'll just pretend it's $1 anyway. It's less than $1 typically. But you save 10 cents on it, you're like, okay, 10 cents doesn't seem like a big deal. But if you have the extra money, buy 10 of them, you just basically got a can of corn for free.
Exactly.
And so watch for those sales. Get the little flyer circulars. You don't even have to get them in the newspaper anymore. But, check them online.
Yeah, the apps. They have lots of apps on your phone you can download.
Yeah, our local grocery store is super expensive. It's one of those small town grocery stores, but their sales are amazing. And they don't they do put out a circular, but we don't get it.
No.
But it says if you just check their Facebook page, they'll actually tell you the sales on there. So try to shop the sales as much as possible. And again, stock up on those items. Really buy more of that when you're shopping. And then that way, the next time you can buy the other stuff. And then eventually you'll just build up a nice stockpile at a much more inexpensive rate. Number 7, buy in bulk. This is my favorite. I am such a bulk buyer.
He does.
And it drives her nuts. It's like, look, they have a 50-pound bag of whatever. And she's like, shouldn't we just get the 25? No, we should get the 50-pound. And you will save money. And again, I will see this sometimes too when you check the unit price. Not always cheaper buying the bulk. I mean, it almost always is, but not always. But I love buying the bulk. And it's not even simply just buying the large bag of rice compared to small bags of rice. You need to watch out for things that are labeled as individually packed, individually wrapped.
Yes, that gets you.
Those get you every single time. And if you actually look at the total ounces, it may only say the only thing I can think of right now are peanuts. So let's say it's a box with 10 packs of peanuts in them, or cashews or something. It may actually give the unit price for per ounce, but when you actually check it to buying just a can of peanuts or cashews, it's night and day.
It is.
And it's much cheaper to use sandwich bags, or even better, reusable bags.
Yeah, off of Amazon, buy reusable bags, and I just do a cup or whatever you want to calorie them out, and just do it, and it's easier for the kids.
Yeah, and obviously just making things from scratch, it takes a little bit extra time, but you'll save money.
You will.
And that's the key. As the food gets far more expensive, you need to save every dime you can.
Number 8, grow your own food.
We get emails and messages all the time with people who are in apartments, or that's all they have is a little balcony in their apartment. They can't grow food. I would say au contraire. Yes, you can. Growing certain, obviously you're not going to be growing corn on your balcony or things like that. Or, some people can get away with a tomato plant.
Yeah, a lot of can.
But there's a lot of things you can grow even indoors with just a real simple pot. Like, for example, lettuce.
Yeah.
Lettuce is surprisingly not cheap in the store.
No.
But it is one of the easiest things to grow.
Or sprouts.
Sprouts or radishes.
Radishes or celery.
Fried radishes.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Yeah, so there's lots of things you can grow indoors even, or if you have a balcony. It simply just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and buy just some inexpensive seeds. Because you buy a pack of lettuce seeds, you can probably get it for 99 cents maybe.
Yeah.
And there's usually 35 or 50 seeds in there.
Sometimes
and that'll
more.
last you quite a while.
Yep.
You could actually do a lot of lettuce.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. So try to grow your own food. Of course, if you do have a garden plot, you probably already grow from your garden plot, but I'm challenging you to grow more. You need to grow more plants.
We all do.
Number 9, store away food.
When you go to the store and you see those amazing deals you want to stock up on, you have to find a way to store it. If it's Mylar bags, if it's canning, if it's cutting it up or putting it in the freezer, whatever you do, make sure that you're able to save what you buy.
Yeah, because you don't want it to go to waste.
No.
There's nothing worse than wasted food. But there's lots of techniques to do it. But again, it just takes time. You can dehydrate stuff.
Yep.
You can can.
Yep,
You're the canner. Freeze dry if you happen to have a freeze dryer. Some things don't even require any of that stuff,
Nope.
like rice.
Yeah.
So try to store it away as much as possible. If you find something in bulk, buy it, maybe use it for dinner that night or that week, and then use the rest of it to store away.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll get a nice stockpile going. But you have to learn to be able to store food, which is key.
Number 10, don't waste food. Leftovers, guys. Sometimes leftovers, some people don't like to eat them, but in our house we have leftover nights at least once a week, sometimes twice, depending on honestly how much is left over from the meals. Sometimes they gobble them up and I don't have many leftovers, but don't want to waste those leftovers. If you guys don't eat them, maybe you have an elderly person next door or a neighbor that you could bring that extra chicken noodle soup you're tired of eating, or you guys can feed them to your animals, and that way everybody is happy and you saved on groceries and money that way.
I'm a leftover kind of guy.
Yeah.
And we often will she'll keep a monitor of all the leftovers in the fridge, and we'll say, okay guys, tonight, everybody's like, what's for dinner? It's fend for yourself night. And so fend for yourself night is great because you put it on the counter and then you just basically release the gates and watch everybody attack it and see what they want to have and fight over all these different leftovers. I like that stuff. All right, so there you go, 10 things to fight inflation. And here's the thing, guys. I have people say all the time, I can't afford to prep. I will tell you right now, you can't afford not to prep. Because let's pretend a can of corn right now is $1. I mean, at the dollar store, it's $1.25. But let's pretend it's $1. As inflation continues, that same can of corn 6 months from now will be $1.25. A year from now will be $1.50. And I would bet your money, as far as coming in, however you get your money, through work or possibly disability, Social Security, is not going up as fast.
No.
So you can't afford not to do this. You really need to watch every single dime, especially now. Look, if we're actually in a time where everything's flourishing and going well, then go ahead and just
have fun.
do it. Yeah, exactly. But we're not living in those times. In fact, everything's showing it's going to get far worse, especially with inflation. So do what you can now to fight inflation and be able to prep for tomorrow. All right, thanks for watching.